Hi everyone, I am Magdalena Ngongo as the first author. I'm going to present the title of our research, that is Metafunction Meaning, System and Structure Text delivered by Education and Culture Minister of Indonesia during COVID-19 pandemic. So this research actually is done by the three researchers, and then all of us comes from Artawacana Christian University. Okay, outline that consists of introduction, method, findings and discussion. That consists of metafunction meaning, system and structure of the spoken text, and metafunction meaning, system and structure of written text. And then come to the conclusion and recommendation. So relating to the introduction, we are realized that COVID-19 pandemic affect our life, including in education, and that's why it's very important to be studied this COVID-19 pandemic relating to the speech and comment towards the speech itself. So in this case, there are three that be seen in this case, that is COVID-19 pandemic, speech and comments toward the speech, and then that's a systemic functional linguistic that focus on metafunction, meaning system and structure. So I think that this research or this article is very important to be studied, and then now we presented the results of that. So there are two research questions that are going to be answered relating to this study. Those are: what are the metafunction meaning, system and structure of the spoken text delivered by Indonesian Minister of Education and Culture during COVID-19? And then the other, or the second question: what are the metafunction meaning, system and structure of written text or comments of the listener relating to the spoken text? According to Halliday 2014, page 83, it is stated that the three line meaning and system in the clause. Okay, here that consists of metafunction meaning and system and structure. So metafunction meaning here, that's cover experiential meaning, interpersonal meaning, and textual meaning. And then this clause, in experiential meaning, clause as representation, and interpersonal meaning, that is clause as exchange, and then textual meaning, that clause as message. Relating to the system, experiential meaning is realized in the transitivity system, interpersonal in the mood system, and then textual in the theme system. Those three metafunction meaning that is realized in the system, then transitivity system is realized in the structure. So the structure of transitivity here, that process, participants, and circumstances, while the structure of mode system, that is mode, that consists of subject and finite plus residue, that is here, that is predicate and complement, and that consists of adjunct. And then the structure of the theme system, that is theme and rhyme. Method: this study was classified as documentary analysis of descriptive qualitative method. So corpus data consists of 5 spoken texts and comments toward the spoken text or written text. So spoken text was gathered by watching, listening, and recording the speech delivered by Education and Culture Minister of Indonesia from YouTube. Relating to the 5 texts here, the text 1, that is the title of text 1, is the 2 education principal policy in COVID-19 pandemic. The text 2, speech to commemorate 2020 National Educational Day. The text is 7 teaching tips in facing COVID-19 situation. And text 4, Learning Implementation Guideline 2 on Education and New Academic Year in COVID-19 Era. And then the last text that is Introducing Campus Life of New Students 2020. So the procedure that is record and transcribe the 5 spoken texts, capture all the written comments of the speech, randomly state the sample of written comments, identify and classify the clauses of spoken and written data based on additional, interpersonal, and textual from the view of metafunction meaning, system, and structure of the text. Analyze, interpret, and discuss the result, conclude the result, and report the study on a national or international seminar conference. Relating to the result, okay, we can see that the overall clauses used in both spoken and written, we can see in this table, in which text 1, that is consists the total clauses that used, that is 220, text 2 54, text 3 160, text 4 232, text 5 that is consists of 27. So the all the clauses that spoken text consist of 406, while in written text consist of 188. So in this case, the written text that be analyzed, the clauses that be analyzed in here, just 188 of the 1,108. So only 188 be analyzed in this study, while the spoken text that is 406. So when we see this, that the text 4 is the highest use of the clauses there. So this fact intended that the text 4 really attracted the audience real life problems relating to the implementation of learning COVID-19 era. So this text was for all parents, teachers, students, and practitioners who were care about the effect of COVID-19 pandemic. And then text 5 seems was not interesting to be commented by the audience. This fact might because of the text was just for the students who were going to enter the campus. Relating to the metafunction meaning, system, and structure of spoken text, we can see the example. Many teachers right now just give assignment only. This is taken from the text 3 in the clause 13. So we can see here that is participants, okay, and then circumstance, that's right now, and then material process that give, and then assignment only, that participants. And then clause number 2, many teachers right now just give assignment only. We can see the mode and then residue, that's predicate there, and then complement, that's is included in the predicate, and then in this case these are residue. And then many teachers now just only give an assignment. Topical theme, that is many teacher, and then RIM give an assignment. So when we see these 3 examples, we can see that can be analyzed from the 3 metafunction, that is from the first one, and the second one, mode, residue, and then the theme. So that's a interpersonal, okay, textual here. Okay, experiential meaning, system, transitivity system, and structure. So experiential meaning relates to the use of language that was in order to construct human experience. People make sense of experience and acting out their social relationship. That's according to Halliday and Matheson. So these kinds of meaning used in text construct a model of experiences. The clause status in experiential meaning was clause as representation. Therefore, experiential meaning was realized in the transitivity system. Relating to the transitivity system, there are 3 parts that we consider there. That is process, participants, process, participants, and then circumstances. So the focus here is the process itself, in which process consists of mental, material, verbal, relation, existential, and behavior process. From the process type, from the text, we can see that the example. When we see the example of this clauses here, the process in a bold, and then the participants in the underline, and then circumstance in italic. For example, when we see the mental process, it is the time we listen to our heart and to learn from COVID-19. So we can see here that the italic here, that is the circumstance. Okay, it is the time, and then we, that is participant, listen, that is mental process. While material process, we can see that that's pandemic give here. So however, on the other side, pandemic give lots of learning. So the process here, material process, is give. The other verbal process, that is repeat. Yeah, so I repeat again that for this moment, only 6% of our students population are on green zona. So this, from these clauses, we can see that repeat as a verbal process. And the relational process, this protocol appropriates to the healthy protocol that we get from healthy minister. So we can see this as appropriate as relational process. And then existential process, there is a postponing for 2 months. So there is there, that is existential process. There is, while behavior process, that's we have that the students. So students, even though the school start, okay, it means here to face learning, and their parents are not convenienced that students are not allowed to study. Okay, from the structure clause in transitivity system, you can see this. Okay, the structure. For the first time, parents realize the difficulty of teachers' responsibility. We have the circumstances. Okay, for the first part, and then parents for the participants, and then realize that mental process, and then the difficulty of teachers' responsibility, that's participants. That's the same as the clause we at Kemendikbud also provide learning module. So participant, we circumstance and provide that material process, and then participants that is learning module. The awareness of empathy, solidarity in our community of COVID-19 pandemic, that's participants, and then is a learning, that is a relational process. Relating to the mood system. So mood system here cover affirmative, interrogative, imperative, and then exclamative. So mood structure, okay, mood in bold and residue in italic. So we can see here that we give right to all the region. So here we here as a mode, and then we give right to all regions, that is residue. And then interrogative, how do they use the software sign? So they here as a mode, and then use that software signs, that is residue. Imperative, change the learning paradigm. Okay, and then exclamative, I'm just kidding, that is exclamative. Yeah, and then we can see that structure in this case. We give the right to all regions. Okay, so here we see that subject we, and then give, that is predicate, and right, that is complement to all agents, that's adjunct. So when we see the structure here, that's we is a mode, and then starting from give, right, and to all regions, that all included as residue. And why are all classes given the same assignment? Why here there's a adjunct, are, that is finite, and all students, subject, and given predicator, and the same assignment, that's complement. So when we see this, okay, the residue, that is cover why all the students, and then the same assignment. While the mood here, that is are, that's finite, and then in this case. So the other, that is don't worry to ask help from other teacher. So mood, that is don't, and worry to ask, and the other, that is residue. And then textual meaning, theme, system, and structure of the spoken text. Systemically, textual meaning concerned to organizing the message, creating cohesion and continuity as move along. In text, it realized in team system in which it has team structure as team and rim. Team in a clause comes early in the clause. The team is the element that serves as the point of departure of messages according to Halliday Matheson. So we can use the team system. You can see the team system here. The use of topical team be presented here. For example, topical team, lots of agreement, okay, that must be decided. That's rim, okay. And then the first priority, okay, team is how to recover the child. That's the rim. He, that is team, directly get his test, that is rim. This condition, that is topical team here, and hopefully can encourage creativity, that is rim. So all the team in table are topical team and then be followed by the teams topical. Team are pronouns, noun or noun phrases, and those team are followed by rim. So the other example that have the multiple teams. So a clause can be one or two multiple teams, like the table 5 here. So textual team, first of all, topical team, I, and then followed by the rim would like to say thank you. The other, therefore, that's textual team, topical team, our priority, and then rim is not continue aware, far away learning. So textual team, given assignment, topical team can be done face to face, that is rim and natural. Team structure, okay, relating to the team structure of text cover team and rim. As team, okay, precede the rim. A clause had simple and more team as shown of that data below. So this is a difficult era, especially in education. For the first education policy principle, there are two principles. Learning method of technology basis, including online learning, becomes something that must be adapted. So when we see this, this is the team and then the rim. We can see this, the first, the second. So these three examples consist of more than one team. Process type of transitivity system in written text, okay, material process. That's the same in spoken, yeah, in spoken text. That consists of material, mental, verbal, behavior, relational. So for example, in process, in material, so mass mentary, those get that internet quote are from which place? I very like to go to school. That's mental. If only we are okay, classroom, I ask them to pause. That is ask here, that's verbal process. My child, his work is sleeping only. He wakes up just for eating. That's sleeping, and then wakes here, that's behavior process. Educational National Day 2020 is different. So is here, that's relational process. So our children are national generation, that's existential process. Relating to the structure of clause in transitivity system in written, we can see the example, emergency curriculum, where do we get it? So that is circumstances, and then followed by the participant, we, and then material process, that is get it. Children love longer holiday. So children, that's participant, process love and longer holiday, and the other. Come to the interpersonal meaning mood system and structure in written. The consist of mood system. Here, that's the same as spoken, in which they have affirmative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamative. And then mood structure, for example, Educational National Day situation is actually different. So here they have that mood and residue. Okay. Textual meaning, team system, and structure. Okay, that's the same in spoken text, in which they have the textual meaning in text relating to how writer construed their idea in order to have cohesiveness. Example, some school, when I talk to their operator, all are one voice. So here we have the topical theme, textual theme, and then topical theme again, and then rim. Okay, the conclusion. Okay, metafunction meaning system and structure of both spoken and written text, intended message that be expressed. Experiential meaning concerned to expressing idea. Interpersonal meaning concerned to the exchanges experience, and textual meaning relating to the organizing message, creating cohesion and continuity as move along. The expressing idea was realized in transitivity system in spoken text. Relational process was most used than other. This implied that speaker wanted to emphasize message stated and it was aimed that the message could be understood completely. While in command, verbal process was most used. This implied that listener wanted a demand relating to their problems faced, such as asking to have online learning, quote, for internal and external. In exchanging experience, speaker used affirmative more than other, while in command exclamation were used more than others. These facts have relation to other, in which speaker usually stressed the message supplied and then stated the message again to ensure listener understand message, where writers exchange their experience by expounding. So this was based on the reality in which they realized that COVID-19 was really affect their life. Concerning to the organizing of messages, creating cohesion and continuity as move along in which it was realized in team RIM system. Speaker organized message by using interpersonal more than textual and topical, whereas in comments, writer used more interpersonal theme than topical and textual theme. The structure as syntagmatic order stated by Halliday and Matheson. It is found out that each of them, transitivity, mood system, and team RIM, has their own structure with some specific. That's all. Thank you.